guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Rome and this is the Honor Magic 8 Pro, the global version. And while I know that it's represented as a 2026 phone online sometimes, but this phone has been out since the end of 2025 and I've had it for a little bit over a month. So I've been able to get my thoughts together on it and spend a little time with it and just paint a full picture of it. So we're going to go ahead and do our 1 month review and we're going to switch over to our overhead camera and get this thing going. So first things first, we're going to take a look at the front screen. This bad boy is a OLED display and it is a 6.71 inch. And I will say that while that is large, the way that Honor is designing their phones with all the curved edges, even though the edges are slightly curved, it makes the phone feel more compact in hand and more comfortable to use. So you can see those curves on the screen. Hopefully the camera is picking it up. And you can see the slight curves on the back of the phone. So they really curve it, and even on the sides. So they curve it to where everything just kind of flows into each other, which is really nice. I have no complaints about that. My only complaint about curved displays really is the fact that it's kind of hard to find a really good screen protector for them. Really high quality screen protector without spending a ton of money. You have to shop around a little bit. It's possible, but you have to shop around a little bit, especially since this front display has a really unique cutout on it, as opposed to that circle sitting in the middle. That makes it easier to retrofit a lot of different screen protectors to any phone. You kind of have to find one specific for this device if you don't want to cover up that area up there. But moving on, let's go ahead and look at the full build of the phone. So like I said before, curves around all edges. So everything just kind of flows to each other. And on the right side of the phone, you have the volume rocker, power button, and this camera slash action button. I'm not sure what Apple. See, that's what I'm talking about. That button actually made me think about Apple for some reason, but I'm not sure what Honor calls that button. But anyway, on the top, you have speakers and an IR blaster. I believe that's the IR blaster. I know some phones put it in the camera on the back. And you have your antenna on the side and your SIM tray at the bottom, USB-C port, and another speaker and a mic, of course. And of course, on the back, you have your 250 megapixel cameras and your 200 megapixel camera on the back. We'll get to those in a moment, but otherwise the back is fairly clean with the Honor insignia there. So really nice, well-designed phone. Even for the black being as simple as it is, still looks really nice, really pleasant. So let's go ahead and get into the device itself. So while this device does weigh 219 grams, which is right on par with other slab phones, it doesn't feel crazy heavy in your hand. I mean, but everything that they packed into this device, it justifies their weight. So let's see, they packed this thing with a bunch of IP ratings, IP68, IP69, IP69K. Long story short, you won't have any issues with water unless you are a deep sea diver or something like this. You go scuba diving. You may want to be careful with how deep you go and how long you're in those depths of that water. But other than that, really nice. You have your nano crystal shield on the front of the device. So really well protected. I felt so comfortable with the phone that I've done something that I don't normally do with my phones. Even though they say they are IP rated and they have really good ratings, I still don't put my phone in water and I keep it away, but I did do that. And I did record it, so I'll include that somewhere in the video so you guys can watch that. And moving on, let me go ahead and put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're going to keep it moving. So while we're talking about the display, real quick, we'll jump into it. Honor has a ton of eye comfort features here, and they've done a really good job with making them useful. And you can even go one step further. I'm just going to keep things going here. I won't dig too deep into them unless you guys want to see that. But they have a contrast test here and a color sensitivity test here to see how well you see colors. And it'll adjust the colors of the phone itself to match your eyes. Really, just feature packed and really considerate of eyes, since a lot of people look at their phones a lot. So Honor is really taking your eye health into consideration. So really appreciate that. So let's go ahead and jump into the about section real quick since we're here in the settings. And you'll see that this phone is packed to the brim with stuff. So you have your Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 mobile platform here. And you have your 7100 milliamp hour battery. You have I want to say a 1.2K, I want to say. Uh, anyway, you have a really high resolution screen on this device. Not quite 2K, but it gets close enough. And let's see, let's keep moving through. Just powering on through this stuff. The specs, I don't really talk about specs much. I just like to talk about how well the phone behaves and stuff like that. So with the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, you won't have any issues here. And then you have your Adreno 840 GPU in here. So gaming is not an issue. I've gamed on this phone for a little while. Even with the maxed out settings on Wuthering Waves, you do get great performance. I didn't notice any clipping or any animations missing when you're fighting those bosses on there. If you guys play that game at all, you would know that there are a lot of particle effects on the screen and just a lot going on the screen, and I didn't notice any drops. The phone also did not get really warm to touch at all while I was playing, which I really like. It got a little bit warm, but not uncomfortable by any means whatsoever. And I didn't notice any significant battery drain. I mean, compared to any other phone, any really high-end phone, no considerable battery drain there. So, for those people out there that care about benchmarks and stuff like that, there are plenty of channels for that stuff. Just know that you can game on this phone, no issue, and you can actually crank things up a bit. So, hey, with that being said, let's go over and jump to the camera, which I know a lot of people are here for. So you got your 50 megapixel ultra wide, you got your 50 megapixel ultra main, and you got your 200 megapixel, they're calling it an ultra night telephoto. And I could say they've earned that. I spent some time out there at nighttime, which is not my favorite thing to do at all. I'm not a nighttime person, but I did spend some time out there at night, and I took some photos and I recorded a video and so on and so forth. And we'll show that up here in just a moment. I'm just out here, and I'm also recording this video on the Honor Magic 8 Pro. I'm testing out a few phones out here at nighttime, but I don't come out here often at night, so I'm trying to squeeze in as much as I can. But I want to take the opportunity to shout out KraftGeek. They sent me this lovely, lovely tripod, and I'm gonna take the camera off of the tripod for just a moment, show you that bad boy. So this is the KraftGeek tripod. And it comes with this nice little remote so I can start and stop the video. Let me show you that. It's Bluetooth, and you can sync that up to your phone, whatever phone you're recording with, and hit the button and start recording. And it charges via USB-C. Let me show you that actually, and turn the camera right. Hopefully that zooms in on that. All right, so let me pop this bad boy. So this thing is so easy to use. Press it all the way down. And I'm trying to record with one hand and use the tripod with the other, and doing a lovely job of it. But yeah, there's KraftGeek right there. Lovely tripod, and this thing is super easy to use. So let me show you what I mean. As you can see, I'm trying to close the legs with one hand, and it's fairly easy to do. I'm hearing some music coming from somewhere. I have no idea where it's coming from, but we close this bad boy up, and what you want to do is you just hit it on the ground, and it pops open. See that? And then you can pull the stand out, and it goes pretty high. I'm roughly 5'7", 5'8", and this thing easily goes above my height. So yeah, I just wanted to show a little love to them. This thing feels sturdy. I mean, like really nice. I mean, feel really premium, like a quality product. Nothing cheap about it at all. So shout out to KraftGeek for sponsoring this video and showing a little love to the channel. And there'll be some codes down in the description for you guys if you decide you want to pick one up. Like I said, and it comes. Oh, and one last thing before I go back to the main video. This thing has the magnet on here for you. Any of you guys that have like the magnetic cases on your phone or MagSafe if you have an iPhone. And it actually comes with the additional little magnetic ring, metal ring that you could put inside the case of your phone. So this thing is really cool, actually. So if you decide to pick up one, there are some codes down below and in the description. Feel free to use those to pick it up if you decide. It supports the channel and goes a long way. So the phone is really well packed. It has the 50 megapixel selfie camera with the 3D depth sensor, which I really like for face unlock. I don't use face unlock on my other phones because it's not as secure. It doesn't feel as secure to me. I just use my fingerprint on those phones. But on here, I have Face ID set up and the fingerprint, so on and so forth, which you just saw me use. So a lot of respect to what Honor is doing here. While that island does take up a little bit of space on the phone, let me turn my volume down. They've made it really useful. And I have nothing but respect for Honor for doing that. See, it'll pop up there. And I know you guys have seen this before on different phones, but you could pop up there, interact with your stuff, and swipe it back up into the island. And if you get notifications, you can interact with those. And if you want to close that song, oh, you're done with it, just swipe away and it goes away. Just really useful. They just packed this phone to the brim. Jumping over to battery life really quickly. Battery life is really good on this phone. I would love to show you how good it is, but for some reason, Honor's OS really doesn't keep the full breadth of how long you've been using the phone for from day to day. It only keeps that day. So I can't show you the previous time I've used the phone, but just know that you're getting easily between 6 to 7 hours of screen on time. And that's full screen on time. It's about just pushing the phone, watching videos, doom scrolling on social media, stuff like that. You will have no issues. You can easily make it through a day and a half, 2 days with this phone. I make it through roughly a day, day and a half because I'm an extremely heavy user. I just have stuff running on this phone all times. YouTube videos, music, just everything, doom scrolling. I'm a really heavy user. So I know the average person will get way better day-to-day battery usage than I did. So it does support 100-watt supercharging, which will get you from 0 to I would say 100 in under 40 minutes. I would say closer to 30 minutes or something like that, roughly that. Just crazy fast charging. I will say that you will have to use the Honor charger that comes with the phone in order to get that. I haven't had as much success with other chargers on this phone getting that super fast charging, but it comes with a charger, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. All right. So moving on, we could talk about Magic OS a little bit. I won't dive too deep into it unless you guys want to see a really specific video for Honor Magic OS covering all of the different customization options and things of that nature. But just know, I'll actually show you one thing that I just like to throw tips into my videos sometimes. So when you go into icons and you have whatever icon pack, click on the three dots menu in the upper right corner, and that's where your themed icons is hiding. It's weird. I would think that they would put it somewhere on the actual screen for you to just click on, but for some reason they hid it up here in the upper right. I would think that there would be more of a settings, like a deeper dive into settings for icons, I guess. I don't know. It's just weird that it's up here, but you can turn that on and you'll see here that it applies that theme. It pulls it from the wallpaper, which is really cool. I do wish the icons were reversed to where it was darker around the icon and lighter in the middle, but hey, can't have everything, but you do have themed icons, which is really cool. But while we're in here, let's just jump around a little bit. You have a bunch of themes here, and you can apply them and then apply your own wallpaper and adjust your wallpaper how you want them so you can pull different things in from the theme. These themes feel really basic to me, which is weird with all of the customization options you have here. But if you go into hit lock screen and go to custom and go over here, you can adjust the clock to make it look how you want, font, color, so on and so forth. You can actually long press, move the clock around. You got your depth effect there. You can turn on and off. Really cool. Blur background to add a little separation between the wall, let me see, the subject of the wallpaper and the clock and everything. Really cool. I mean, they've packed this thing with customization options, which I really like. Incredible job. Even they even go as far as to when you apply a wallpaper to use AI to customize the clock and pick a clock based on whatever theme or wallpaper you have applied. I mean, they've packed this thing so really good, really good. Honor has really killed it in this department, done a really great job. So the phone is packed. Actually, I think what I'll do is in the future, I know I said comment down below if you want to see specific things, but I think what I'm going to do, Honor has so much going on with this phone, I'm just going to spend more time with each of those features. But anyway, in conclusion, every phone has its pros and cons, but this phone is absolutely more pros than cons. As a matter, I would go one step further to just say it only has one major con for me. And this is just my opinion, but the haptics on this device are weak, really weak in comparison to other devices I've used to where I feel like I miss notifications sometimes because I don't hear the vibration from the phone. Even when it's laying on hard surfaces, unless your background is like quiet for the most part, you won't hear it. I am used to like these ridiculous Samsung motors. I haven't used a Samsung in a couple of years now, and I still remember those haptic motors that they have in there, and they are insane. They almost vibrate across the desk. I know that's not for everybody, but that's for me. Like I feel like I miss notifications sometimes because the haptics are so weak in this device. But other than that, the speakers are insane. The display is insane. Can be a little bright in darker, like lower light rooms. Sometimes maybe they can be fixed with an update on there. If you stumble across my little YouTube channel, maybe adjust that auto brightness a little bit to where, because I have to click into it and swipe it down. But anyway, other than that, packed, packed device. Easy recommend. Super easy recommend. If you're in the market, go out and grab one, all right? But anyway, this has been the 1 month later, and there are more videos coming on this phone. more specific to cameras, where I think I'm just going to spend time in the cameras, just go through all of the features in the camera, go through the full customization options, just everything available in this device as far as customizations go, and anything else that pops out. All right. So really appreciate you guys tuning in for this review, and feel free to like and subscribe. It goes a long way to support the channel, and I will catch you in the next one. All right. Later.